Hi, I'm Sarah Moran, and this is Natalie Renama, and we're here today to talk to you about social media for your small business. Now, most people have a general understanding of social media, but there is always more to learn. And today, we really want to shed a new light on social media, and we want you to leave today thinking about it a little bit differently than you may have in the past.
So we're going to start by talking about how to integrate social media into your marketing mix and how important it is to do that. So we're going to talk about how to integrate it in a way that's going to really let you build your own network using these platforms around your business. And we understand there's a lot of social media platforms out there, so we're going to hone in on the most popular ones, and we're going to go over some general best practices that can be applied across the board when using social media, and we're also going to discuss some best practices that can be applied to these individual platforms. So let's go ahead and get started.
Okay, billions of dollars of revenue have been generated as a result of social media, and you are probably wondering how you can increase your business's revenue. And the answer to doing that really lies in social media's ability as a networking tool. So think of social media as a way to build a network that is exclusive to your business. So a network that consists of your stakeholders, your partners, your vendors, your current clients, your potential clients, and really form a network that is exclusive to your business. Now, before you can figure out how to start your network, you need to determine how you're going to integrate social media into your marketing mix.
Okay, so when integrating social media in your marketing mix, think of the whole world of people out there on social media that may not know that your brand or your product exists. So why not use these social platforms as a way to really increase awareness for your brand and really increase the reach of your brand? Traditional sales tools like cold calling and networking and sending emails are all effective, but they can be even more effective when you add social media into the mix. When doing this, though, it's really, really important that you remember to cross-promote the social platforms that you're on across all of the marketing literature that you have. And this means adding the social media buttons to your email signature, to your website, etc., just to, again, make sure that your network knows where you are. So think of social media as free tools, again, as Sarah mentioned, that really let you bring together all of your stakeholders, your partners, and your potential clients. Again, it's really a great way to just extend the reach of your brand and extend the awareness of your brand, and again, bring together your network. Aside from these, though, there are a lot of additional benefits that social media can bring to your business. One of them is the amount of information that you can get from just doing a basic search on some of these platforms. And I'm going to go ahead and pass it off to Sarah, and she's going to talk about this a little further.
Okay, yes, as Natalie was hinting at, there are multiple benefits to using social media, including the intelligence that you can gather. And the best way I can demonstrate that is with a personal story. I recently had a meeting with someone that I had never met. So I looked this person up on LinkedIn, and I was able to learn where they went to school, as well as their entire career history. So I was able to leverage this knowledge to quickly build a rapport with that person when I met them. Now, before you can take advantage of your social media network, you need to figure out how to intertwine some best practices that apply across the board. Now, there are best practices that apply to each of the different social platforms, as well as differences. And we're now going to go over best practices that apply across the board.
Okay, so regardless of which platform you're starting off on, I can't stress the importance of starting off by observing first. So see what your competitors are doing and track their followers, see what their followers are talking about, and find ways to bring their fans and followers into your network. And the same applies for industry thought leaders. For those of you who may not be familiar with the term thought leader, it's simply a person in your respective field that is considered an industry expert. So what you really want to do is get in their radar and see how you can contribute to their conversation and again engage them and bring them into your network. Another thing that I want to point out that's extremely important is that social media is a two-way street. So you don't want to spend too much time talking about yourself and your brand. You really want to listen and engage with your followers. And a great way to do this is to abide by the 80-20 rule. And this simply states that 80% of your content should be informational, while the remaining 20% should be promotional. So for every promotional post that you put out there, you should have at least 4 posts going out that are simply made to inform and engage. So with that said, I'm going to pass it off to Sarah, and we're going to discuss some ways to really create some engaging content.
Yes, so keep in mind that people tend to read and share information that answers a question, solves a problem, entertains, and inspires. Essentially, people share information that they in turn pass along with others. And by having others share your information, it really serves to grow and build your network. You also want to share information that others can contribute to. So consider posting questions, polls, surveys, and contests. Now, to help you figure out when and where to post, we're going to share a little trick.
Okay, so as you can see, the trick is simply developing an editorial calendar. And what this does is really make it easy for you to determine where and when you will be distributing certain types of content to your followers. So with that said, we've covered pretty much some of the basic all-around best practices that can be applied across the board when using social media. So let's go ahead and hone in on some of these specific platforms.
Yes, as we covered, every social platform, there are some commonalities, but there are different features of each. So we'll now cover the unique features, and we're going to start with YouTube. And we're beginning with YouTube for a couple reasons. The first is that it integrates seamlessly across many of the different social platforms. And the second reason is because I feel that YouTube will help to convey this network concept that we keep referring to. So you want to think of YouTube as your business's personal TV network. So to wrap your head around that, think of your favorite TV network. Let's say it's the Food Network. The Food Network airs programming all day, and it's all about food. So your business's TV network will air content that relates to information that is pertinent to your business. So keep this network concept in mind as we discuss each of the different social platforms. We're now going to move on and discuss Facebook.
Okay, so as you all mostly know, Facebook is the largest social network out there. It's got over 300 million users. And it's really great because it has a lot of great features integrated directly into the platform. And one of these features is the custom tabs. And the great thing about custom tabs is that it really lets you integrate with different platforms without having to leave Facebook. As you can see here, MediaForce integrates YouTube, Pinterest, and Twitter to kind of showcase the other platforms that we're on. So again, it's really great to integrate and showcase the different social networks that you're on. And again, what this does is that it brings your network together, and it lets them know all the places that they can interact with you, again, from just one place without having to leave Facebook. So let's go ahead and discuss some best practices for using Facebook.
Okay, when using Facebook, one thing you definitely want to share are photos. Images are proven to generate the highest amount of likes, comments, and shares. In terms of the best times to post, you want to consider posting 1 to 4 times a week. You do not want to post more than twice a day. And on the weekdays, the best times to post are in the evenings after 8 p.m. And the best days to post are middle of the week on Wednesdays, as well as on the weekends. And keep in mind that these are just general guidelines and that you should really figure out what works best for your business. So now that we have covered tips for using Facebook, we're going to move on and discuss Twitter.
Okay, so Twitter is a microblogging platform, and it allows you to share brief status updates in 140 characters or less. So again, these are really meant to be brief and in real time. Twitter has a ton of features that are different for most social platforms. So I want to take some time to review some of these key features in a little more detail. The first thing I want to go over is the advanced search, which you get to by clicking on the wheel-looking object up at the right-hand corner, and that will prompt you to this screen. And here you can really narrow down your search query and get some really nice specific results as to what you're looking for. And one of my favorite things about this is you can then save this search and go back to it at a later point in time. The next thing I want to go over is Twitter lists. And Twitter lists are a great way to keep your Twitter stream organized. Many of you that use Twitter probably see that your Twitter stream is inundated with content coming in all the time. So again, this is a great way to create a list of categorized followers, and that way you can go in there, know what you're looking for, click on the relevant list, and interact with the people that you are intending to interact with at that point in time. I want to go ahead and move on and discuss the retweets and the hashtags. The retweet is simply reposting somebody else's content. And what this does, regardless of whether you're reposting or somebody else is reposting or retweeting, is it, again, helps you expand your network because it gives you greater visibility. The hashtag, on the other hand, is used to categorize keywords and phrases that can later be searched for. And the great thing about being able to search for these categorized topics is that you can gain a lot of valuable information about what types of conversations are going around these topics, which can then lead you to be able to appropriately engage in these conversations. So these are just some of the basic features of Twitter. Let's go ahead and discuss some tips for using Twitter.
Okay, in general with Twitter, you want to be an active follower, and you want to follow businesses, organizations, and people that are in line with your business's mission. Some other tips in terms of when to post. Twitter's a little bit more active, so you want to make sure that you are tweeting at least once a day. And the best times to tweet are during the week, Monday through Thursday, in the afternoon, around 1 to 3. And tweeting once a day does take some time, so there are some things you can do to save time, and it's really third-party applications. One of our favorite third-party apps is Hootsuite, and using Hootsuite, we schedule tweets in advance, we shorten links, and we also are able to get metrics. So that sums it up for Twitter. We're now going to move on and discuss LinkedIn.
Okay, LinkedIn is a great platform. It's really geared for business professionals. It has a few key features, which include the personal profile, groups, and company pages. So let's go ahead and start with the personal profile, because in essence, in order to really master LinkedIn as a business, you need to know how to really use it as a personal user. So in order to do that, you really want to make sure that your personal profile is 100% complete, and it includes industry-relevant keywords so that people are able to find you. With that said, let's go ahead and talk about the groups, because once you finish building your profile and optimizing it, you can feel confident and ready to go out there and network. And this is where groups come in, because groups is a great way to get out there and network and meet people, not just inside your industry, but outside of it as well. So groups, I'm going to pass it on to Sarah, and it's going to discuss groups.
Okay, thank you, Natalie. Yes, groups are a really great way to build your network. And my personal favorite thing about groups is that I can connect with people that I otherwise would not be able to. So I'm sure most people have had an occasion where they sent an invitation on LinkedIn to connect with someone. And when you do that, you have to indicate, are you a colleague with that person? Are you a friend? You have to indicate how you know them, basically. And if you do not share something in common with them, you cannot send that request. So by being in the same group with someone, that gives you the ability to send that connection. So it's a really great feature. Another cool thing about groups are the insights. Before you join a group, or after, or at any time, you can look at the insights offered by groups. And those insights include the demographics, growth, and activity of that group. So it's a really great thing to check out to make sure that the group is in line with your business's mission and in line with your network. So now that we have discussed groups, we're going to move on and discuss LinkedIn company pages.
Okay, so think of LinkedIn company pages as pretty much a free platform to showcase a second version of your website. Using LinkedIn company pages, you can describe your company, showcase your highlights, your specialties, and you can even feature up to 25 products or services. Again, though, the trick here is to really make sure that your page is optimized with keywords so your prospective partners or clients can find you easily. And again, so they can be well informed about who you are, what you do, and what you're capable of doing. Another great thing about the LinkedIn company pages is that it provides you with wonderful insights. As you can see here, just some of the insights that you're able to get, again, are the demographics. You can also see the types of engagement that your posts have generated, and you can also see the types of impressions that your posts have generated. So with that said, let's go ahead and move on and discuss some tips for using LinkedIn.
Yeah, so as I initially mentioned, I use LinkedIn to look folks up before I meet with them. So that is really one great thing about LinkedIn is you can gain insights on prospects. In terms of the best times to post on LinkedIn, it is a little bit more business oriented. So you want to post a few times a week. The best days to post are in the very middle of the week, Tuesday through Thursday. And best times to post are really around the lunch hour, 11 to noon, and then after work, around 5 to 7. And LinkedIn is the perfect place to establish yourself as a thought leader in your industry. So now that we have wrapped up LinkedIn, now that we have talked about LinkedIn, we're going to move on and discuss Pinterest. And we're going to spend a little bit of time on Pinterest because it's one of the newest social platforms. And I want you to think of Pinterest as your business's portfolio. So it's where you want to share pictures as well as video. And because Pinterest is a little newer and has some unique features, we're going to spend a little bit of time going through each.
Okay. So one of the great things about Pinterest, well, let's start with the anatomy of Pinterest. It consists of pins and boards. And a pin is just a graphic image or a video that can be uploaded either from your computer or from the web. And these pins all consist of a really short, sweet, keyword-rich description as well as a backlink to the desired website that you want to direct the viewers to. Pins, however, are all must be categorized into boards. And boards, again, are based on categories. So if you have a board about business growth and success, all of the videos and images that you have on that board are all going to be relevant to business growth and success. So with that said, let's go ahead and discuss some of LinkedIn's, some of Pinterest's key features. The first one that I want to go over is the repin. The repin is identical to Twitter's retweet. Again, what it does is it allows you to share somebody else's content or vice versa. So again, what that's doing is that's really letting you get your name out there to more people and letting you expand your network and bring more people to your network. The next thing I want to go over is the integration between Facebook and Twitter through Pinterest. If you look at the right-hand corner of this image right here, you can see a Facebook and Twitter button. So if I'm navigating LinkedIn, if I'm navigating Pinterest, and I come across something that I really like, I can share it to all of my friends and followers on Facebook and Twitter. And again, what this does is it really speaks to this expanding your network, because now you're not only on Pinterest, you're on Facebook and Twitter as well. So lastly, I want to go over the pin it button. I mentioned before that you can either pin from the web or you can pin directly from your computer. So in order to pin from the web, the first thing you need to do is install this pin it button on your browser. From there, once you're navigating the web and you come across an image or a video that you want to share on one of your boards, you just simply click that pin it button and you're directed to Pinterest, and you can put it in the board that you wish to put it on. So with that said, let's go ahead and move on and talk about some tips for using Pinterest.
So to speak to the integration that Pinterest offers, remember how you can use hashtags on Twitter. Well, you can also use hashtags on Pinterest. Another item that speaks to the integration, you can log in to Pinterest using an existing Facebook, Twitter, or even a YouTube account. And you definitely want to do that. Let's say you log in with your Facebook account. Put in your username and your password for Facebook, and then you will be able to see all of your Facebook connections that are also on Pinterest. So it's really a great way to reinforce and extend your network. In terms of other features of Pinterest, my personal favorite are the secret boards. And secret boards are just what it sounds like. It is a board that is not yet public. So you want to use secret boards for, say, launching a new product. You would build the board, and then when the information is ready to be released publicly, launch the board. That sums it up now for Pinterest. We're going to move on and just recap today's presentation.
So just keep in mind that regardless of which platform you're using, they're all really integrated into one due to all these great integration features that each platform offers. Again, it's crucial to remember to cross-promote these social platforms across all of your marketing literature. And again, this includes your email signature, it includes your website, it includes your business cards, any sort of marketing collateral that you have. These social media buttons that you are present on should be there, because again, what it's doing is it's letting your network know everywhere that you are and where they can find you and how they can interact with you. Another thing that I want you to take away with is following, and following the right people is crucial. So keep that in mind as well. Be an active follower and follow the right people and understand what their needs are and really engage with them by listening, again, by listening and observing. So with that, I want to conclude the presentation.
Okay, yes, thank you all very much for participating today. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact Natalie or I, and we, again, are with Media Force PR. Thank you very much.